Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and this one next up is the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger. And this one I am super stoked and excited about because we keep getting closer and closer to completing the team from the original, the OG Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first season and everything. So very excited. Now these are hitting Walgreens. I know a lot of the West Coast and there's other states and everything that's been hitting. It just today hit NorCal, and my buddy David actually picked this up for me at one of the Walgreens. I'm not even sure which one he found it at, but he found it at one of them, and he actually said, "Hey man, if you want it, it's yours." And I said, "I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much." So here she is. We'll get right to it. Standard packaging that we see with all the other Power Rangers figures. So we see the Pink Ranger artwork there. Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger down at the bottom. We see she has a couple of accessories. Side package, you get the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo there. Here on the back of the package, we get a look at the figure, one of the promo images. There's no bio or anything, and I wish Hasbro would add some kind of bio or some kind of information, because I don't even remember her last name, Kimberly something. I have no idea. And then some more artwork on the side there. For all you guys that want the UPCs and whatnot, there is the UPC for this figure. Here she is. Let's open her up. So I was opening the package, and I know I could talk about this later on, but one thing that I had no idea that this figure actually came with, it has this really cool arrow, this lightning arrow effect piece that's included in there, and I had no idea because, correct me if I'm wrong, promo images did not show this effect piece included in there, and the packaging, her face, her helmet, completely blocked that in the package, so I had no idea. How awesome is that? We'll take a closer look at that as we look at the figure, but now I need to get her all the way out of the package. Whoops, stupid me. I guess I should have seen the effect piece because it's right there on the back of the package. My bad, guys. Alright, and here is the Pink Ranger figure out of the package, and I am very, very pleased with the figure. There's a couple of odd things that I'll kind of get into here pretty soon, and one frustrating thing, which I'll talk about here soon, but it's, you know, just Hasbro being Hasbro, but a very cool figure. So first, let's take a look at the accessories, then we'll get in a closer look for the Pink Ranger, and then we'll check out the articulation and see how she looks with the rest of the crew, the rest of the team. Okay, so looking at the accessories, of course, we get the unhelmeted interchangeable head for Kimberly. Now, I know, I guess in video it's coming out okay, but I had posted pics on Instagram and everyone was like, "Oh, the face looks so bad, her eyes look cross-eyed and everything." Part of that is just the angle and the lighting and everything and how it looks. In person, this head sculpt is actually very, very good. But let's look at the other accessories. So we get this cool, like, pink lightning arrow effect. You can see it's in the shape of an arrow, so it's done in a translucent pink color, and I think it came out looking really good, but I like that you could clearly see the arrow that's in there. So this would be kind of the firing effect that they had in the show. Out of the package, she comes with 2 additional interchangeable hands. For the left hand, she comes with a fist, and for the right hand, she comes with the karate chop hand, because the figure out of the package for the left and the right hands actually are sculpted in for her bow specifically of holding it. So she holds the bow in this hand and then she holds the arrow in this hand. So pretty cool that they actually have hands that are specific to holding the accessories. She also here comes with the blaster here, and this looks pretty good. Same that we saw in the San Diego Comic-Con 2-pack with the Red Ranger and the Zeo Gold Ranger. The only thing about this is technically isn't accurate to actually holster it in there because it's supposed to fold together. So that's, you know, when you want accuracy, that's just not right, but it doesn't bother me. It would have been nice to also have come with the closed blaster, but it is what it is. Here we have this new arrow, and it's just done in actually translucent gray plastic. Why it's translucent, I have no idea. Should have been a flat gray. Not that big of a deal, but you can see through it, like there's a couple specks over there. But the sculpt of it is pretty nice. And one thing that's pretty cool is you can actually put this in between your fingers so it would hold, you know, like so. So that kind of works out pretty well. And then we get the bow. Now this bow is the exact same bow that came in the San Diego Comic-Con 2-pack with the red Dragon Shield Red Ranger and the Zeo Gold Ranger. I had wondered if it was going to be the exact same because this has all the clips so you could put all the weapons together, and I forget what it's called, the Mega Blaster, Power Blaster, I don't know what it was called. But it does have those clips, so it is the same exact bow. So once you get the rest of the team, you can put all the weapons together. So pretty cool. Now let's take a look at the figure. Okay, so here is the up close look at the Pink Ranger, and she looks very good. The sculpt of the helmet, I think, looks awesome. I really like the way it came out. Obviously, mine has a minor QC issue with a little overspray of the pink onto the black visor. That does not bother me at all. Those imperfections are going to happen, so it's not that big of a deal for me. It's not like I was going to pass this figure up. I've been waiting and waiting, and now I have her, and I'm pleased with it. The rest of the figure looks pretty good. Now, as far as I could tell, well, it's only wave 2, but this is a new sculpt. We haven't had any other female Power Ranger figures yet. With the rumors of today, or confirmed today, wave 3 was revealed to have the Yellow Ranger, but I know I guess the body would be the same, just wouldn't have the skirt piece. But you can see here, looks really good. There's a nice butterfly joint in there as well, and I'll talk about that more when we go into the articulation. And then single jointed elbows, that was one of the big frustrating things, you know, Hasbro being Hasbro. It looks like it's a little more than 90 degrees, but still, come on. Skirt piece is a rubber piece. It can kind of adjust up a little bit because out of the package it was like way up her torso. So you can move it down and everything, and you can actually see, and there's no way I'm going to be able to get that on video, but you can see that that is her power coin in her morpher there. So I like that they always have the correct things, you know, so each time each person is going to have a special piece. You know, on the male figures it's just that belt piece that's, you know, that they change out, but for her it's the entire skirt that they actually had to do. So that's pretty cool, and the paint apps on it look very good. The black, the silver, the red, and the gold in there all looks very good together. Then here we have the boots. One of the big things that's kind of weird for me is the boots are very large compared to the legs. You can see how much empty space is in there. Now, I know that's part of the costume design, whereas the boots kind of looked loose, at least from what I can remember, but I still think that's just kind of too big because, I mean, look at how much extra space there is. It just looks a little weird to me. They are new boots. They're not the same as the male ones. I did check that. It definitely is a smaller size. And they have the feet. So, cool looking figure. So now let's pop this head off. It pops off pretty easily. And let's get this Kimberly head sculpt on there. And that pops on nice and easy. And you know what? Man, that looks really good. You can see there on the side profile there. See, straight on it looks kind of funky, but that's just how it comes in video. In hand, I promise you, it looks very, very good. But yeah, Hasbro did a great job with this head sculpt. I really like the way it looks. We get silver for the earrings. The face print came out looking really good. Oh, I love the way it came out. Just brown hair. There's no paint or anything in the hair. Just all brown. Yeah, that looks really, really good. Hasbro did a great job with this. Now let's take a look at her articulation. Okay, so for articulation, she can look down, she can look up. You of course get the full swivel. There's a little bit of pivot, not a whole lot. Shoulders go up that high, so about the same as a Marvel Legend female figure. Full rotation there, of course, and again, butterfly joint. So here's kind of standard. Forward is not a huge amount, but going back is really good. Look how far back that shoulder goes. So great butterfly joint going towards the back, going towards her back. So single jointed elbow, Hasbro, come on. So swivel at the elbow and you go hyperextend a little and it doesn't look right, and then the bend gets you just over 90 degrees. Okay, we get the diaphragm joint that we've seen with the male figure, so she can't pivot to the side that much. She can't pivot to the other side that much. Without doing the crunch, she can go forward slightly. She can go back slightly, but you need to be careful because you could see a little bit of gap in that space there, depending on how high up you move it, but it's actually pretty good for the most part. Then we also get the ab crunch in here, and it's actually kind of tricky with the skirt. So looks like the skirt does hinder the ab crunch a little bit here in the front. So I can only get her to crunch down that far. Going back, you can get a lot more, probably too much. So that's kind of unfortunate. Legs can go out that far apart, so the skirt does not hinder the movement of the legs at all. She can kick forward that much, and the skirt is a pretty soft rubber material, so it's not so bad, and the leg can still go up and actually stay up. It does not go back whatsoever. There's an upper thigh cut there, double jointed knee, which works out quite well. Boot swivel, foot hinges all the way down, hinges up, and we have ankle pivot, and there are peg holes at the bottom of her feet. So there is her articulation, and I must say it is pretty good. I know Toy Shiz attended the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, the panel at Comic-Con. I couldn't attend it. I wanted to go to it, but I think it was going on at the same time as one of either Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or one of the ones my kids went to, and I really wanted my kids to have that that fun experience at Comic-Con. So you know, I wanted to go to a panel that they really wanted to go to. So I missed out on it. I would have loved to have gone on, sat in on it. But Toy Shiz had some really good coverage, and I know they had talked about the articulation and everything, specifically when it comes to this Pink Ranger figure, and you know what, Hasbro did a great job with it. Okay, and here's the Pink Ranger next to the Red Ranger, really the only other figure that we have from the team. Green and White Ranger I kind of consider special Rangers, so they're not necessarily part of the original core team. And then technically this Red Ranger wouldn't be part of that core team either, but there they are side by side. Okay, and here we have Kimberly and Tommy together, the Green Ranger and the Pink Ranger, and they look very good side by side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to throw White Ranger in here, but it's all Tommy, and they all look very good together. So these Rangers are really starting to shape up, and I am very, very pleased with what Hasbro is giving us. And of course, here is Zed next to the Pink Ranger, and you can see he's much larger than she is. Okay, so one thing that I didn't really show on some of the other Power Rangers figures is swapping out the hands. So you kind of have to get some force to pull these hands out, because one of the things, and I had talked about this in like the White Ranger, is these pegs for these hands are so ridiculously long. It's crazy. And I forgot to mention the swivel on the hinge on here. This hand has the roll of the dice hinge, whereas the other hands have the normal up and down hinge. If it will focus. There it is. Have the normal hinge, and they're kind of stiff, so you want to be careful. But we got that one out, so we're going to pop the karate chop hand in there, and you got to be careful because it starts to bend and just goes so deep in there. So that's how you switch out the hands. Okay, so looking at how the accessories kind of work together, so here with the bow you can kind of work it into her hand to where it makes sense, and you can see that she kind of just, her fingers really grip the bow. So I talked about this arrow here and how you can get it so you can actually get this portion to go in between her fingers, and it'll actually kind of hold that arrow in place. So as you're doing it, you can actually make it look like she's holding the arrow in place. But it's hard to get it to kind of stay up against that bow, which is what I'm trying to do. So I'm kind of trying to work it in between her fingers here. See if, oh, look at that. Got it to stay, so that's pretty cool. But then it just comes off loose pretty easily. Now, the tricky one with this effect arrow piece is I tried to kind of get it to see how it can be holding it, and this one was a little bit trickier to get. I guess you could do something like that, because I kind of looped the finger into that little hole as part of the effect piece, and she can kind of hold it like that. So you guys that pose your figures around will have can probably do things a lot better than I can to make it look, but you know, you just kind of have to work around it a little bit and using the butterfly joints to kind of get it up against the bow. And then see, I had knocked it off, but pretty cool that we get that. Okay, so there is my review. You guys let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection? Or are you guys passing on them because you're happy with your Bandai Legacy Collection? I'm curious. You guys let me know down in the comments below. If you guys liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell. And as always, guys, thank you for watching.